Hi guys, Artie here, and I really didn't expect to talk about yet another content purge. On the night of October 1st, HBO Max removed a handful of even more Cartoon Network series. Chowder, Gumball, Regular Show, Steven Universe, We Bare Bears, and Powerpuff Girls 2016 were all pulled from the service that night without any prior warning. I'm surprised they even took Gumball off the service. That's one of Warner Bros. Discovery's biggest shows, and they give it plentiful reruns. I think there's been quite an overreaction to the removal situation, because every show that was taken off of HBO Max is still available on Hulu. In fact, Hulu has quite a selection of CN and even miscellaneous related content to offer. It's not like there's absolutely no way to watch those shows anymore. It's not really the end of the world. I'll say that WBD could have done a lot worse, and I'm glad there's still a way for people to stream them. Nothing is permanently purged, nothing is written off, so you can put down your torches and pitchforks. The remnants of Cartoon Network content on Max seems to mostly be checkered past and 90s shows, Adventure Time, and a few oddities, but that's about it. Kind of makes sense since the Adult Swim demographic is interested in the shows they grew up with, but they should have at least kept a Regular Show. If anything, that series is targeted more at teens and young adults, rather than children. The Hulu version is censored, so they could have capitalized on this by offering the uncensored, uncut versions of the episode on Max. As of recently, they have been prioritizing Adult Swim, TBS, Discovery, and now Boomerang content on HBO Max. That's right, the Boomerang streaming service officially closed down a few days ago, and a majority of the shows and specials were migrated over to HBO Max. The reasoning for why they decided to keep the Boomerang content like the Hanna-Barbera cartoons on Max is to probably appeal to the Gen X and Baby Boomer demographics that grew up with those shows. Also, I called it. Last month, I had a feeling none of the CN originals, besides Courage, since it is one of the most popular shows, were going to be migrated over to HBO Max. Warner Bros. Discovery isn't anti-animation, they're just anti-Cartoon Network. Seriously, I don't know what they have against this brand and why they have so much contempt for it. I'm glad the new regime has given Adult Swim the red carpet treatment, but they're really gonna leave CN in the dust like that? It also seems that WBD heavily favors WB animation shows over CN originals. I've noticed that pattern. It's ironic that Disney of all things treats Cartoon Network better than their owners Warner Bros. Do, despite them being rivals since the very beginning. What's next? Disney is going to purchase the Cartoon Network Inc. from Warner Bros.? I really wouldn't put it past them. Yeah, I know a few of the shows are offered on the CN app, but let's be real, it freaking sucks. It's one of the most laggy and unstable apps, and interacting with the interface in any way crashes the app. Do they even test it before releasing it onto the App Store? The whole situation is really stupid if you think about it. Last year, CEO David Zaslav made a statement that he wanted the HBO Max service to better cater to a kid demographic, yet they proceed to continuously remove shows aimed at younger audiences. I'm guessing they eventually gave up around this time, instead opting for a young adult to middle-aged demographic. If anything, this proves that the streaming wars were a complete disaster and waste of time, money, and resources. All this time, they could have just licensed out their own content to other services, instead of gatekeeping everything they own on one service, meanwhile missing half the library. No, not every media company needs their own platform. They could just make even more money by licensing out their shows to other services and networks. Hulu is clearly the superior service. Why don't they just put the rest of the Cartoon Network content on there, instead of having it spread across 2 services? Well, 3 if you include the Hanna-Barbera content on Tubi. Speaking of, they should just add all the purged shows on Tubi for free. It's not like they're gonna make money off of Final Space or whatever anyways, logically speaking. I mean, they put the Oblongs on Tubi, so why can't they license out other obscure shows they own for Tubi? There's still a light at the end of the tunnel regarding the CN shows that are not available to watch anywhere. The official Cartoon Cartoons YouTube page has been drip-feeding content by uploading full episodes of Foster's Home and Camp Lazlo for free to watch. I'm not sure if they are only uploading a handful of select random episodes of a few series, or if they actually plan on releasing every episode. But this is still a step in the right direction. Oh, and one more thing. HBO Max loses the rights to South Park sometime in 2025. So that's also a reason not to renew your subscription into next year. It's a relief that all the South Park episodes will finally be on one service again, over at their home on Paramount Plus. I searched around and couldn't find an exact date, with every result vaguely listing 2025. It could be early 2025, late 2025 right around Christmas, smack dab in the middle of the year. I don't know. Before the infamous Great Content Purge of August 2022, I really thought HBO Max was a streaming powerhouse, and expected nothing but good things from it. Honestly, it was my favorite platform. If they played their cards right, they could have very well rivaled Netflix and Disney Plus instead of removing everything in its path. But now, it's too late for that. They made their bed. Well, at least the service in Latin America is doing well and offers most of the CN originals. I don't know why HBO Max removes content more frequently than other services. Do they think this is a game? Do they think this is funny? They'll cut the biggest corners to save a few rusty pennies. It's mostly to conserve server space and to avoid paying residuals, royalties, fees, etc. I get that some of it has to do with licensing, but come on, you're a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and there's not much of an excuse to offer such poor service for such outrageous rates. That's all I have to say tonight. The reason for the lack of uploads in the past week is that I'm working on a big South Park video that I had to put on hold so I can make this update. Stay tuned, it's going to be rather interesting. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, notify, and check out other videos in the channel. You may like them. Should HBO Max bite the bullet and just offer the remaining CN shows to Hulu? Or should they get their shit together and figure out a way to offer everything? Let me know in the comments.